Hey, so this was going to be an actual stream, and it was for the first, I don't know, probably about quarter of an hour. So this is a vastly sped up version of that stream, and you can see in the top right hand corner there's my Ko-fi link. Don't worry about that. But what I've done here, I'm tracing the human eye just to give me an idea of the shapes that are actually there. You've got the eyeball in red, the surrounding lids in dark blue, and then in this light blue shaded area is the kind of indent, because your eye isn't like on top of your skin, it's like slightly in. That makes total sense when I say it out loud. And then the eyebrow in a darker blue. So that's what I was working with as a basic structure. From there, I want to just sort of simplify my style, the way I draw eyes, because at the moment I draw them weirdly realistic. Like it doesn't suit my style at all, and I find it really hard to draw eyes at all on a person anyway. So you can see here, that's my base, that's my reference image, that's the parts of the eye that I know of, and now I can start to simplify. So what I do, I now try to draw the eye as I normally draw it, which is, like I said, weirdly still realistic. And it doesn't work, because it's really awkward to try and fit that eye into any kind of expression in a cartoon way. It looks cartoony, sure, but that's about the only expression you can make with it. So then I go for a round eye, which is incredibly cartoony, which looks weird when I put it like that, and looks weird on the sheet, to be fair. And then I try and sort of adjust that version of the eye. So I still go for round, I put the eyeball in a different position, I receive in a different position, and I put a nice little eyebrow on top of it, and now I reach something I actually quite like. And the point of all these sketches is just to sort of figure out what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. You can use this as a cheat sheet for yourself if you want. This is what I call the Goggle Method of drawing eyes. Draw a pair of goggles. You know the scientist goggles that people have? Draw a pair of those and then add your eyes in later. You can end up with some quite really fun results, like this pair of eyes here. I actually really enjoy drawing these eyes because they work, and I can get more emotion out of them, even with my normal, weirdly not actually a good nose at all. But I can get more emotion out of that kind of style of eye than I can the Disney style. So now that I've got that idea, I start using the Goggle Method a lot more. And it'll come up in a bit in the video. Basically, you've still got that mask structure around the eye that's framed by the eyebrow. Always keep those things in mind. Here it is, the Goggle Method, as I call it. Feel free to use it. Yeah, basically, if you've got those goggles ready, you can draw the eyes in them, and it works for basically any expression. I haven't fully tested it out yet, but it's worked so far on this sheet, and it's given me some quite really good expressions, and I'd be interested to know what expression's your favourite. At the end, comment at the end of the video, or comment at the beginning, I don't really care when, but just say which set of eyes is your favourite, which ones do you like? Do you think the Goggle Method works for all expressions, or do you think that I'm barking up the entirely wrong tree? But yeah, just sort of carrying on with it, I think that doing these sketch sheets, as it were, is a really good way of exploring your style or exploring different ways to draw the things you want to draw. I'm using it mostly as a way to explore how to draw people and how to draw faces, because honestly it looks terrible when I try, but this is my way of trying to get better. Funny story actually about the streaming thing. I was meant to do them like quite a few times a week. It isn't going to work. My stream software has completely abandoned all hope of ever working for me. But here I also realised that, yeah, one style of eyes works for people, but does it also work when I want to draw an animal? And that's what I'm testing out here. I'm going to do the same thing, Goggle Method, same pair of eyes, same expression, but one's going to be a lion, this one, and one's going to be a human, which I will show you in a second how I manage that. Basically draw the lion face, which works fine and looks fine, and then copy it and paste it and drag it over, and then erase the nose of the lion to make a human nose. And it does work, but obviously the width between your eyes is much different on a human than a lion, because that looks weird. But then you just adjust it as you need. And this is one of the benefits of digital art, although it can also work in traditional art if you use an eraser. If you're not using a pen, it's pretty much okay. But yeah, I'm quite fond of like the right hand suspicious face and the really scared surprised face in the middle. And then I sort of figured out, alright, what other expressions can I do? You've got suspicious, you've got surprised, erase all these random lines that I've drawn, but keep the goggles very kind of visible on the bottom two faces. And then I thought, well, what about tiredness? How do you show that a character is tired in a cartoon? How do you show that half-lidded sort of, bags under your eyes? And I decided to go with the circular eye as my base for everything, the one in the middle there and at the top. And that's just to sort of think, well, does this eye work for basically everything? This is sort of a sad expression, as it were, sort of morose, looking down, depressed sort of thing. And the Goggle Method works there as well. I might as well coin that phrase, hadn't I? Yeah, Goggle Method for eyes. Drawing eyes, use a pair of goggles. It always works. And then I decided, alright, what about the more sort of tiredness? Well, how do you draw tired? What do you think of when you draw tired? You need an eyelid. How am I going to draw eyelids on this type of eye? So you draw a circle for the eye, and then you cut it in half. Draw a little lid on it, draw a little lampshade on it, and just draw half an eye, and it works perfectly, but that is a bit too sharp, as it were. It's fine, but it looks a bit too sharp. So let's simplify that a bit more, and we'll go to same thing, draw a circle, have a look at the actual structure, because that's fine, but draw a circle. And this time, instead of a straight line, curve it. So it looks more like a top hat or a bowler hat on top of the eye. And yeah, you can use these if you want. But yeah, I think that works pretty well. Honestly, I really do. So I'd be interested to know, what do you guys think? It would be quite interesting to see any extras you think I could have done. So yeah, comment below. You know the drill, like, subscribe, helps me with the YouTube algorithm. And yeah, I hope you guys found that kind of interesting, or at least not as boring as the streamers probably found it. So sorry to anyone who was watching on stream if you're going to see this video. But yeah, see you guys in the next video.